Alerts are off because I'm a genius! Smartest man alive! Hey, don't try this home. Don't try this home. Don't try this at home. CSS as a backend. Introducing cascading server sheets. Who here's excited? Who here immediately got a ton of anxiety and is very excited about this? Things that probably shouldn't exist. 2-part series. Don't try this at home. CSS only image detail zoom. Okay. And CSS as a backend. It sounds like this person really knows Pascal. First off, beautiful name. Second off, it seems like you know a lot about CSS that we probably shouldn't know. Okay. Long as we can we get Tailwind version for backend CSS to make it easier? Is that a thing? Can we already do that? I'm pretty sure somebody can invent. Can we get Frontwind for the backend and Tailwind for the front end? Did I just make a really odd observation that it's named backwards? Oh my goodness, let's do it. Make Frontwind. Somebody make it. All right, here we go. Here we go again. Another one of these, and promise you will be questioning this, my sanity after this one. Here, let's turn down this thing. Headwind. We can do Headwind. I like Frontwind a little bit better because it just sounds funny. All right, I was just getting the groceries. I walked down the street to the local shop when it hit me. Cascading server sheets. I love these moments in life. They are the greatest moments in life when you're just walking, doing nothing, and all of a sudden you realize, my goodness, I could do something truly atrocious. Love it. Today, we will use CSS as a server-side language. That's right. Use CSS to declare routing, do maths, heck, quick maths. Heck, even use CSS to do templating. And we're not using anything like Sass or less. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that he did that. I was already just due to less, and now I'm over here. You know, like can you make a squeal connection? Now that's the real thing. If you can squeal in CSS, hell yeah. We don't need no stinking loops, but plain old CSS. What? Why? SMBC has lately put it quite well, although it's part of a comic about quantum computers. Let's see. The deep abiding goal is every engineer is to take a thing and make it do a thing it wasn't supposed to do. This is true. This is some internal thing deep inside of me somewhere that does exist. In my younger years, I would spend an inordinate amount of time doing something that should never have been done. But I loved it. Here's a good example. Actually, I still do it in my older years. I still try to write things in Rust that shouldn't be written in Rust. What is that, a front end? Write it in Rust, right? Like, that's the same thing, except for now, we call that engineering. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean? Let's go Leptos. I actually love Leptos. Leptos is one of the greatest frameworks of all time. So, personal opinion there. Imagine changing a tire with the Hubble telescope. Doesn't exactly work out, does it? Oh, I mean, I'm sure you could make it work, though. Well, how awesome would it feel if you managed to do it, though? And that's what I'm after. Dude, this man is chasing the dragon. Severely chasing the dragon. What is he doing? I just wanted to be able to change the tire with the Hubble telescope and then get that feeling over and over again. Hey, maybe I'm starting a new trend here. Who knows? You're not starting a new trend because remember, people have been putting Doom on odd devices, such as Doom on a pregnancy test. First-person shooter jokes. A hardware wonk successfully played Doom on a pregnancy test. Yeah, so look at that. There, you can even see it right there. Hold on, we'll turn it down. So, this is not new.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on?
People actually...
Friends, there
look at
has
this.
been an individual
Look at that.
who is great
Look at that. That's
with
level
older
1. You can tell. You turn
technologies,
left and you can get the
and he
shotgun
has
guy.
managed to find
Oh,
a
okay. You're going straight for the imp.
way
Okay, there's an
to
imp.
get
Yep.
Doom
Go through the door.
to
Here it is. There's the
run
door.
on a pregnancy
Okay, open it
tester.
up.
Here we can see.
Oh,
he's
there's
got
the imp right in front of
parameter
you.
tester,
Wait, no, the
but
imp comes
apparently
next,
the
doesn't
thing
it?
is,
Oh,
he
that's
just
right.
has
There's
this as an
Yeah.
output.
How sweet is that? Oh my goodness. Quake, I know, but no one cares about Quake, okay? It's all about putting Doom. Everybody knows that. It's all about Doom. It has you can also pee on it and it'll tell you if you're pregnant. So how amazing is that? Are you pregnant or are you just simply playing Doom? Who knows? Uh, Quake and CSS. Oh, I bet you someone could port. If you can actually get logic, someone will port Doom to CSS. All right, who knows? Even if this trend is just laughing at my silly ideas and never taking me serious ever again, you might know that the saying that people were so obsessed with whether they could that they forgot to ask if they should. I think this isn't quite the slogan. That's a Jeff Goldblum quote from Jurassic Park 1. Scientists were so obsessed with whether or not they could, they forgot to ask if they should. I think is the more appropriate version of that quote. I'm well aware of the fact that I probably shouldn't, but the question is I could. Is I could. Oh, I'm stupid. This tool will be something I'll never, ever, ever use in production. And you, dear reader, should never do it either. Please, there. You have been warned. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Cascade server sheets. It is. Let's define how this thing will even work. I was thinking about an interface to Express. Okay, interesting. A slightly better language than CSS for a backend. JavaScript, that is. Basically, define a catch-all route in Express. Load the CSS file, parse and interpret the styles. This part will be fun, I guess. And shoot whatever DOM emerges over the wire. Okay, that seems good. Oh, HTMX would be a great front end for this. You could do an HTMX front end and make this a real thing. To do that, first let's install Express. Please note that I'm using, a Node version manager to switch between Node versions. Okay, so apparently we're doing 14. Okay, awesome. Now let's create a little app and start, and add a start script. Okay, there's a bunch of this. Don't try this at home. Thank you. This is a great license, by the way, Pascal. I appreciate that. I like the little details that this guy does. Right? He didn't just put the joke in the description. He tossed it in the license. But the one thing he did miss was the version. I love your extensiveness, but please, a 1337, a 69, a 420, a 42. There's still a lot of availability to explore here. In the Express app, we define a catch-all route that tries to figure out if a given route corresponds to a CSS file or not. If it exists, it simply returns the content of this file. If not, a 404 will be thrown. Okay, do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that. Fantastic. Use one of these. And there we go. Awesome. I like to see this. Look at this. Judo already is talking about LLVM backend for CSS. It could be done. This could be done. All right. So anyways, we read file sync. Okay, UTF-8. Hey, good. I want to make sure this is UTF-8 appropriate. And then we just send the CSS. So this is the confusing part. How does the CSS produce HTML? This is what I don't get. Okay, quick test shows that everything except small index.css field yields or file yields a 404. Okay, good. Evaluating CSS, thinking out loud. All right, okay, so here's the fun part. Someday we'll need to figure out how to execute the CSS server side and take whatever it outputs as the app response. The first thing that comes to mind for rendering is simply use the CSS content rule to render. Well, content. It can use CSS variables and counters, so we can technically even do math with it. Quick math, probably. There's just one problem. The browser evaluates counters and vars on the fly, so we cannot just evaluate the CSS. Oh my goodness, is this client-side reactivity I've been hearing about? Do you think that CSS is actually just use client under? Is that what use client is underneath the hood? For the new use server, use client React server components? Don't think I'm not looking at you, Dan Abramov. I know what you're trying to sneak in, okay? I get it. Take whatever is the content and output that. So the computed style approach doesn't work. Believe me, I tried. Basically, you'll get what you see in the CSS tab for your dev tools. Imagine this piece. Okay, so we got some numbers, we got some this, and then we do one of these. Oh my goodness. And this is what you'll get. Okay, the sum is 15. Yep, that doesn't quite work. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's using before. Oh, this is disgusting. So why don't we use a browser to do that? The browser does evaluate this stuff somehow, right? The only issue is that we're shifting the problem here. There are node implementations of CSS. They offer computed styles in browsers, and the browser we would be using would only offer the same thing, right? If there was a way to let the computer read what's on the screen, ideally the browser would load the CSS file and we wouldn't inline anything. Otherwise, we cannot really use stuff like import. So we'll need another controller that loads CSS. Anyways, sounds like a lot of future me problems. So let's first introduce Puppeteer. Oh gosh. Oh no, we're already into Puppeteer. This is where I feel like all good problems turn into web scrapers that make Elon Musk reduce the amount of tweets some people can read. That's what I hear when I see this. All right, to load CSS, really, this is a great invention. Let's go. Thank you, Chrome Debugger Protocol. Appreciate what you've done to everybody. To load the CSS, we need some HTML. We can create that on the fly, inject the loaded CSS with a link, base64 encode the entire blob, and make the browser parse that. Okay, so we got this thing. Create DOM. Oh, but this is not what I wanted to see. Now, but now you're doing JavaScripts, right? This is JavaScript. This isn't CoffeeScript. I can't tell because you're using terrible syntax. What is this? Anyways, that's just me ripping on modern JavaScript and their arrow functions. I swear, what is wrong with you, arrow functioners? Why do you create a variable that has an anonymous function? Did you know that V8 team actually had to create it so that their stack traces would consider the const variable name as part of their stack trace because such a stupid pattern emerged that even they had no idea people would do that? Do you realize that for like a year you just got anonymous function instead of the name of the variable because the V8 people were like, no way people would actually do that. That would be dumb. All right, they're going to just create functions, and then they'll do anonymous functions, arrow functions, where you actually want arrow functions, right? Am I right? Wrong! I like how it looks. No, you don't. It has way more symbols. Why would anyone want more symbols? I don't get it. Note that, let's see, how we already added the HTTP method as the data attribute in any args of the CSS variables. Okay, we got this thing. We got the body, datafied args. Okay, interesting. Next, we need an internal route to our Express app that serves the requested CSS file. All right, so we got internal. Ooh, nice. Go conventions. No one's going to be able to get in here. Don't you hate when you do Go and you find a method that you need and it's in the internal? Like one time I had a stats package and I wanted to do a Man-Whitney test, but the actual Man-Whitney test in the stats package was behind something that I couldn't actually just give me the effing Man-Whitney test. That's all I wanted, and I couldn't get it. So I had to like go copy the code because stupid internal package. Anyways, here we go. Do one of these things. Yeah. This is great. Internal file resolved. Okay, app path. Okay. A request to internal index CSS would then load app index CSS. Weird. Just weird, and serve it. Puppeteer can now load our apps and execute it. We could do more validation here, but I kept it basic for the sake of implicity, for the sake of implicity. Now, get to the Puppeteer game. Okay, we're going to go here. We're going to create some DOM. The browser is going to launch. Fantastic. No sandbox. Never needed no son of a sandbox anyways. We need the page. We're going to get the page. We're going to get the DOM. We're going to base64 encode it. We're going to hit that. We're going to go to this one. We're going to set it as some sort of base64 goodness. Load, timeout, wait for 30 seconds. Oh, magic. Now try this with a little bit of index CSS. Lo and behold, Puppeteer executes the CSS and displays the results. Let's go. Let's go. Now all you got to do is set that content to HTML, and boom, we got it rendering. Exacting the content. The future me problem, right? Yeah, well, or we know that we cannot use computer styles to get any element's content, especially if it contains variables or counters. We also cannot select the copy paste the render text since Chromium cannot do that. So how do we get the rendered and evaluated text? Ever downloaded a website? Have you ever downloaded a website as a PDF? The evaluated text gets selectable. Can the Puppeteer create a PDF from a website? Yes, it can. Just when you think something couldn't get any worse, you put it into a PDF. Right? Really, like, that's actually how you get endgame worse. You wouldn't download a website as a PDF, would ya? Yes, I would. I would just like to state right now, I will download a website as a PDF. Yeah, we can somehow parse the PDF to get text. Of course we can. PDF parse. Absolutely. This library lets us parse any given PDF and extract the text. Do you know that I worked at a previous company, Web Filings, which is now known as Workiva, and during that work, we actually made so many commits into the whole PDF ecosystem. PDFs are just straight wonky. There's no rules. It is the most ambiguous parsing exercise of all time. It is crazy, their standard they have set forth. It is crazy. It's like a bad idea on top of a bad idea on top of a bad idea on top of a very well-known and distributed format. That's what it is. It's worse than printers. It is the worst thing ever. 30 years of backwards compatibility? Yeah. Okay, anyways, we're not doing any shenanigans with images, layouts, and whatnot here. We only render out plain old HTML as an unparsed string. We can copy and paste that. There we go, people. Do you hear this? HTMX right down the path. Do this, bam, bam, bam. We're doing a little bit of this. Then we're going to go here. We're going to get the page with as a PDF. We're going to render that data. Look at us go. Then we're going to resolve that beautiful text. Let's go. And as the last step, we adjust the catch-all route to get the text. Hell yeah, girl. Look at this. This is beautiful. We get the little file. We get the little content. We do a little bit of promise. We do this. I mean, you could have technically, you should have made it async and await, and you could do all the sweet new CSS things since you're already doing all these sweet arrow functions. Come on. That should do the trick. It's demo time. Let's put this thing to test. Calculator using a form. A basic hello world is simple enough. Let's build a CSS calculator. Title, calculator, method, form. I hate my life. Wait. What the going on here? Who allowed this into CSS? Who allowed that into CSS? Is this why Web3 Consortium has 75 million pages of documents? Because of stupid things like this? Why would you want this? Why would you want it? I got to quit asking why. Why did we not have this earlier? When I was younger doing nothing but raw dog and CSS and IE8, why did I not have this? Why did I not have this? This is beautiful. You get a form, you get the sum, you get the content. This is beautiful. This calculator uses multiple features: reacting to get and post, doing math, displaying the results. So what does it actually do? Well, we render the title in the form with two input fields called num1, num2. If the app encounters a post request, it displays the result, which is calculated via the CSS counter. The CSS counter is first set to num1 and later on increased by num2, yielding the sum of two numbers. Hence, basic addition calculator. Does it work? It does. Simple two-page app with navigation. Let's abstract away some of the header and footer into global CSS file. Of course, this is standard. So we got the root, we got a navigation level, we got this, we got a little footer, copy, 2022, import global. Look at that. Look at this. This is pretty much PHP at this point. Works like a charm. Beautiful. This is just absolutely beautiful. Absolute. By the way, I didn't even know like dash footer's a thing. I didn't know that this is some sort of thing. I don't even know about this stuff at all. Works like a charm. Fantastic. Phew, what a ride. Edit. So since this apparently sparked some confusion, let me explain why I used mainly JS for this product, even though it says CSS in the title. Every programming language that's executed runs through an interpreter or compiled written in some other language. Node.js, for example, was originally written in C++. It still is, actually. The CSS server I've built here would be equivalent. I use JS to execute the CSS. CSS is the userland code for the CSS server, just like JS is the userland code for Node. Yep, absolutely. So this is just an interpreter on top of an interpreter. That's all. Simple. Your interpreter's Puppeteer that launches a browser that runs everything. So you actually have V8 and Chrome, headless Chrome. Right? That's Puppeteer. It's just headless Chrome, right? So you got V8 launched to run CSS to get parsed out the results using Node, which is V8. So it's two V8s. Double the V8, V16. It makes sense. Who would be confused by this? I don't know who'd be confused by this. It's beautiful. Amazing. Score of 2. Soviet-like tech. This is Soviet-like tech. This is governmental tech to the max. V8 squared, V64. It could be V64. It's like a Bugatti. This thing's fast, okay? You think your Rust server can serve anything? Wait till you see my CSS server serving it hard, okay? CSS, I love it. I think what this really goes to show me, it's not that CSS can be used to create a server. It's that CSS is entirely too complicated. That's what I see right here. I think that we can all agree that CSS has jumped the shark sometime a while ago. Like, I think all CSS really wanted and should have had was flexbox and transitions or grid layout. Grid layout sometimes is a pain in the ass. Sometimes grid layout, no matter what you do, is just wrong. It's just always wrong. It's just wrong forever. Sometimes I wonder, maybe Float was actually better. Maybe, just maybe, Float truly was the superior layout mechanism. Float is still the best. It gets the job done. Do you even float? CSS is pronounced cis. Oh, is it? I have got that t-shirt. Nice. CSS agent. Hey, the name is the CSS agent.